Hello everybody, hope you're all well. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. I am sat on the carpet in the living room, which means one thing. I am back with a haul, and not just any old haul. I'm back with a favourite of ours here. I'm back with a huge Poundland haul because they've had a rather good sale on in store. They've got some amazing homeware that's all reduced. They've got some handy bits for around the home, and basically loads and loads of bits and bobs that I thought would be very handy in my home, and also I thought you would really enjoy seeing too. So I've got a few bags of bits to show you, and it's really brilliant stuff. So hopefully the sale is still on at the time you're watching this, so you can grab some bargains for yourself too. Maybe make a little list. I've actually bought a list of the bits that catch your eye, and yeah, some of it's online as well, isn't it? So yeah, make yourself a drink, put your feet up, relax, enjoy. I've made myself a nice little instant coffee. Cheers everybody. And I've made it that little bit too strong, so it's borderline bitter, but it will be the rocket fuel we need to get through this lot. First things first, we have got Valentine's Day in store. I've noticed all of that is creeping in, and I couldn't resist picking up this card which says Happy Valentine's Day, and it's got these two adorable kittens on it, and inside it says with love. And I think Valentine's Day is such a nice time of year to celebrate our loved ones, celebrate ourselves. I think it's a good excuse to buy a gift for somebody that you love, or buy a gift for yourself. And I want to say a big thank you to Dialect, who are working with me on today's video, and I've got some more of their fragrances to try with you, because I always think fragrance makes a fabulous gift at any time of year, but around Valentine's Day, a lovely gift idea for a loved one, for yourself, or to try out a new fragrance if you're going on a date on Valentine's Day. Let me know if that's something that you do. If you celebrate Valentine's Day, do you go out on a date? Do you go out for a nice dinner? Maybe you go to the cinema, or do you like to stay at home? I'm definitely a stay at home kind of guy, but I do love a new fragrance, so any excuse to try out some new ones. So I've got some ones here from Dialect. If you haven't heard of Dialect already, they're a fabulous brand. They make really high quality fragrances, and they're all inspired by some of the luxury and designer ones that we know and love. And the good thing is they come at a fraction of the cost. In fact, they're up to 80% cheaper than the originals. So I have Peach Brulee here, which is inspired by Bitter Peach, which is one that I always sniff at duty free. This is my first time testing these, so I thought we would do it together so I can give you my first impressions. And these perfumes and fragrances are made in Grasse in the south of France. It's basically like the capital of perfume, and they're all made, oh, this is really, really lovely. Oh gosh, that is, if you like your kind of slightly sweet fragrances, it's very uplifting, and it does smell borderline like a tin of peaches. It's definitely got that peach scent going on. I'm just going to give this a minute to settle onto my skin. I think fragrance evolves, doesn't it, throughout the day. The great thing about these ones is they're really long lasting. I've got quite a few in my collection now, and they do last a long time. They're also 100% vegan and cruelty free, and they use eco-friendly packaging as well. They all come in the same bottles, so if you have a few of them, they all look really lovely lined up together. Let's go in, we'll come back to that one. Let's see how that sits on me. Let's go on to Rose Macaron next. Now this one is inspired by Parfums de Marly's Delina. I haven't heard of this fragrance before actually, so this is completely new to me. It's not one that I've sniffed at the duty free. Oh my goodness. I like this a lot. Now you may know that I'm a fan of rose fragrances, and this is absolutely beautiful. It is taking me back to that rose garden that I visited in Monte Carlo, which had the most delicious smelling roses in it. Oh my goodness, that is stunning. It's definitely floral. It's not your kind of old-fashioned rose scent though. It's quite bold, and I think this is going to sit quite nicely as well. I've tried to go for some fragrances that I thought might be a little bit Valentine's Day inspired, although I'm not sure how a peach is inspired for Valentine's Day, but you can make your mind up on that one. Let's go back to that one, in fact. Peach brulee, although that'd be quite a nice dessert. Do you cook on Valentine's Day if you celebrate it? That's always a nice thing to do. I feel like the traditional things to make would be like, maybe like a nice spaghetti bolognese, a really delicious one that you can spend ages cooking, or like a beef Wellington. You could attempt the cheesecake that I made for Come Dine With Us. It was a complete disaster because I added biscuits that had caramel in them and the base went rock solid. This is very nice, very fresh, very uplifting. The peach one, that has settled down into, it doesn't smell like tinned peaches anymore. This smells like I have got nice skin. I don't know if my descriptions ever make sense. It just smells really kind of luxurious, like I've just slathered myself in like a nice body lotion, that one. And this is just very subtle now, a nice rose garden with fresh air and a bit of oomph behind it. Okay, let's move on to Pralin Lavish. This is inspired by one that I am very familiar with, and that is a fragrance that is from the noughties. A lot of the kind of older fragrances have had a comeback. A lot of them make us feel very nostalgic. They'll remind us of times gone by. And this one is inspired by Angel, which I'm sure loads of you are familiar with. And I've bought it myself for gifts in the past, and it's always been well received and loved. And so I just thought with this one, I could give it a sniff and see if it does in fact take me back and remind me of the kind of original fragrance that it is inspired by. Oh yes, that is very good. It's such an unusual fragrance, isn't it, Angel? It's really hard to describe. It just smells like a night out to me. Maybe that's because of the time in which I bought it in the past and kind of smelt it, but it kind of reminds me of something a little bit glamorous that you kind of spray on before, yeah, going for a night out. That is very good. All of these are getting a thumbs up from me. I think out of these three, the Rose Macaron and the Peach Brulee are the more kind of day-to-day fragrances, especially as we're going into springtime actually. But this one, I think I would save for kind of like, yeah, evening time, your nights out, when you want to feel a bit glammed up. That is the vibe with our Pralin Lavish. And yeah, I think Dialect are fab. Made in France, really high quality. Click through my link in the description box and check out the prices, because I think you are going to be amazed when you see them. And also you'll get at least 25% off those prices using my code Mr. Carrington. Yeah, I will leave Dialect linked in the description box along with that discount code for you, and happy browsing. I hope you enjoy the fragrances if you pick some up for yourself. Right, where shall we start? Let's start with the list that I showed you just before. So this was just £1, and this is one of those magnetic lists. I got this in the stationery section. I think they're new because they had a few different designs, like spring-like designs. This one's just got kind of like a little checkerboard design on it, but they had some like floral ones as well. I love a list, and I love a magnetic one to go on the fridge, because when you run out of something, you can just scribble it straight onto that list, so that is ready to rip off the next time you're heading to the supermarket. And I think that one is £1 kind of all the time. But onto some sale items, and some of these I couldn't see the sale prices like on the shelves. So yeah, you might find some surprises at the till in Poundland when they have the sale on, because these were priced at £2.50, but these scanned at £1. I think I saw Kate had picked up the same ones or very similar and was very pleased with them. And yeah, for £1, I think these are absolutely beautiful. I think they look really expensive, don't they? They're kind of like the country cottagey kind of vibe. I think they'll go very nicely in my kitchen, which I guess is kind of country cottagey, even though we're here in the middle of the city. I've kind of lent towards that kind of feeling in my kitchen. So yeah, I think these are lovely, and they're kind of like a greige, I'm going to call that, greeny greige. I got two of them because I thought for £1, and when you've got the waffle knit one as well, which is really good for kind of wiping the surfaces down and for cleaning with too, and you've got your kind of regular tea towels, which are nice for drying up with. I need to give those a good wash first, because they don't work, do they, until you've thrown them through the washing machine. I feel like they're not absorbent until you've done that. Next up, I picked up this rug. This is like a little throw rug. I gave you a sneak peek of this actually in a recent video, so you might have seen this one already. And this was half price, so £6 down to £3. Quite a nice size. This is the size that either you could kind of have this, you know, like by a bed, or just throw it down in like a hallway as an additional rug, or a generously sized bath mat. I always think with rugs like this, when they're that kind of smallish rug, but like this kind of fabric as well, it's just kind of canvassy, they make fantastic bath mats, and sometimes they're kind of like a bit of a nicer design than kind of like your standard bath mat in the bath mat section. So yeah, if you want a more interesting bath mat, head to the rug section and go for a small one. I've just left a little bit of fluff flying around, so if you can see that, apologies, I hope it's not distracting. Anyway, moving on. You might have seen this one as well as a sneak peek. This is a beautiful ceramic flower pot. It says ceramic flower pot cover grooves. I like to read the labels on Poundland items, as you may know, if you are a returning viewer, returning subscriber, and if you're not subscribed already, do make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of my future videos. This is priced at £8, so this was down to £4, and it's a really lovely ceramic pot. And yeah, I guess it's plant pot covered because you pop a plant pot into this, I guess, and then it can just drain into it, can't it? So a good one for indoors if you've got like a house plant that you want to pop into a container. I was thinking that might be quite nice on the shelves in the loft, and I've got quite a lot of artificial foliage in the trunk up there that I just rotate. You might notice these have come back out, my tulips that I bought in Amsterdam, and some boot sale Cosmos, I'm going to say. I think that's what they're called. Yeah, all artificial. They've just come out of the trunk. I just thought we'd kind of like try and bring a bit of spring into the home. I picked up this serving tray with a set of bowls. So this was £8 down to £4. I'll just take it out of its box to show you. And I really like the bamboo bits that they have in Poundland. So if you're interested in kind of like your bamboo kitchenware, homeware, if that's your style, then it's worth having a little look because the prices are really good. It's got 4 of these glass containers, which are the perfect size to decant your hummuses and your sour creams, your guacamoles and your salsas, etc, etc, if you're having some chips and dips. And you could also put in like savoury snacks, I guess, or even like, I'm wondering, for like kids, would you chop up different things and pop them into there? I don't know how you get on with the glass, but maybe like nice croutons as well would be quite nice. Is that the right word? Chopped up carrots and cucumber sticks, celery sticks, and then maybe have a dip in this one. That'd be quite nice in there, wouldn't it? Also, you can take these out, and I was thinking this would be quite a nice little drawer organizer. So say for my kitchen drawers where I want to organize things like lighters, paracetamols, antibacterial hand gel, elastic bands, bulldog clips. You hear where I'm going. The odds and ends that end up in your kitchen drawer. Nice little divider, and then you could use the containers off to the side in your kitchen drawer and just use them as little storage containers that way, which I may actually do. It's not that often that I have chips and dips, and to be honest, when I do, I'm quite partial to just putting them out in the plastic containers, whipping the lids off and not faffing. So that may actually end up being for organising the drawers. Now, speaking of which, I did pick up this as well, which I just thought was amazing, for £6. So it was 12 and it's reduced down to £6. I think the Pepco range is really brilliant. If you haven't been into Poundland for a while, I've got some really lovely stuff at Christmas time as well, which was amazing. And yeah, they've really come on a lot. So well worth popping in if you kind of, somebody that's been to Poundland a lot over the years and then maybe haven't been for a while, definitely go back and see what the range is like, because I've been really impressed recently. So this was £6 and it's like a cutlery tray. It's got the sliding section at the side there, so that's as far out as it comes. But then what's nice with that is you've got a little bit of wiggle room in terms of your drawer size, and then you can pull that out and put in your full length utensils, like your knives and your prongs, is that even the word? Your skewers and your potato mashers and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you've got your main cutlery here, haven't you? And then you've always got those extra bits like your tin openers, bottle openers, random, I don't know, lids and things that you end up putting in the cutlery drawer. So a really nice one. And also, again, you could use this in a different drawer around the home. You could use this in the bedroom to separate watches or underwear. So yeah, for £6 to get this lovely wood, I think that is brilliant. I don't often see I don't think they even sell, or maybe it's just in some stores, but I don't often see the plastic bags in Poundland anymore. So I don't know whether it's that they don't stock them anymore, whether they just sell out. But I ended up having to buy a bag, and I bought one of these £1 reusable ones, and it has all of these lovely poppies. But also I did spy a little pumpkin on here as well. There's a couple of cats on here actually. Oh, we've got a Maggie on there too. I thought that was really sweet. And these bags are great for £1. They're so handy to use around the home as well. I'm always throwing clothes into them. I thought these were brilliant. These are dried flowers. You've got your little bunny tails in there. You've got these kind of little faux roses. Not faux, yeah, faux roses, but they're not faux as in, they're not plastic. They're made out of kind of like, almost like a very fine like balsa wood or something like that. So yeah, really sweet, kind of rusticy little bouquet in the brown paper. I've seen these in the entrance to H&M Home on Regent Street. These are £4, which I've never seen them at that price before, for a lovely bouquet. And for Valentine's Day, you could maybe lay these, well, you could give them as a gift by themselves, but you could also maybe like lay them in like a hamper with some other bits and pieces maybe. Would look really sweet, like a couple of nice chocolates or something like that, and make a nice gift with those. For £4 I thought that was brilliant. I did chuck in a few essentials. I picked up a Vaseline for £1, which I thought was a brilliant price for this. This is 50ml, so small enough that you can take it on travels. Nice size to have at your desk or keep it by the bed. And yeah, for £1, the little tins that you get, I'm pretty sure they're like at least a couple of pounds, aren't they, in Boots? So I thought that was good. And I picked up some trainer socks. These were £2 and you get 4 in the pack, just plain white ones with like, they're not invisible, but they're almost invisible, if that makes sense. They're like millennial socks. They're definitely not Gen Z socks. And I don't think they're boomer socks. They're my millennial socks. I also got this jewellery box for £3 down to the bargain price of £1.50. I thought this would make a lovely gift. And again, if you're getting organised, a good little storage container for rings and jewellery, so you can just zip them away. Also good for travels too, because it's kind of like soft, so you can pop this into a suitcase and stop any jewellery that you're taking with you from rattling around. They had these beautiful baskets, and I really like the dimension of these. These were £4 down to £2.50, so yeah, not quite half price with these, but almost. And these I've bought for the kitchen shelf, which is quite narrow, you know, the one that runs along above the cooker in the sink, because yeah, it's the right depth for that. So I thought in here I could stand some little spices or bits and pieces that you don't want like fully on show, that you can easily grab. And with this being quite lightweight, it's quite nice if you have it up high, you can just grab it and it's not like heavy to reach down. So I got 2 of those. In fact, let me bring the other one over. It's got some bits and pieces inside it. Now these, we always joke with the pineapples on the cruises. If you know, you know. So it's a bit of a theme. And these were £1. They were originally £5, and they're these plastic drinks containers. And I just thought for £1 these were so good. Great for the summertime because you can put the lid on, and it has a metal straw as well. So keep the flies out, keep the wasps away, and have a nice little cocktail in a fabulous pineapple. So I picked up 3 of those. I just thought they were really cool. And as I say, the pineapples with the cruise ships, a bit of a running joke. So I picked up 3 of those. And I got this really sweet little succulent. I don't think this was reduced. This was only 80p anyway. It's got a really lovely design on the pot. And I thought the leaves on this were quite realistic, the way they're slightly browning. And you've even got some gravel in there, and this is so small, but it's really lovely just to pop with some, you know, decorative bits. I actually tried this out on the kitchen shelf next to a couple of books and the antique painting that I've got on the shelf in there, and it just tied in really nicely. So sometimes you just want like a little touch of green, maybe not a huge plant, just to kind of mix things up with your decor, and I thought it was great for that. So yeah, 2 of those for the shelves as well, although I think slightly different. This is like a slightly thicker grass on this one, which has made it quite a bit chunkier actually. But there we go. I bought this tablecloth. This was brilliant, I thought. It was £1.50, and in the sale, this was down to just 50p. I do really rate these kind of tablecloths that you can just wipe down. So it's plastic, and I reuse these. You know, I don't bin them. after they've been used. I've got a kind of like red and white check one that I have used for picnics for years and years and years, and it's only the thin plastic like this, but after every single time I use it, I take it on picnics. I've used it around the home. I just wipe it down, let it dry, and you can fold it back up so it doesn't need to become single-use plastic. Same with a lot of the plastic cups, you know, you can often wash those up and reuse them. And it's got kind of like a rough underside, almost like a papery underside, but then like the shiny, like wipeable surface. And it's a good size too, but I thought the print on this was actually really nice. And it doesn't really look too plasticky either, does it? So yeah, if you're having like a gathering and you don't want to mess up a surface, or even, you know, just for crafts, if you're doing some painting or if you're doing crafts with children and that kind of thing, great one to throw down for that. For 50p, you cannot go wrong. Now, I've eyed this up before. This is a tissue box cover. They have this in black as well. This was £3 down to £1.50, and I thought this looked like the sort of thing you would see on the desk in like a posh hotel room when you have your tissue box, or in a posh like hotel bathroom. And it's got that same texture of like leather that you get, I've forgotten the name for this, but it's the same texture that you see on like the Mulberry bags. I think it gives it like quite a nice premium look. And yeah, it's just a square tissue box cover, so you just pop it over and pop this little strap underneath. That will instantly elevate a cardboard tissue box into something a little bit fancy. I got some of this roll, cloths on a roll, and this was £1.50. These were down to, I think, £1 or 50p. There's 40 of them on here. They're 25 by 40 centimetres, and it says high absorbency as well. So yeah, just really handy for cleaning around the home. And I also picked up some rubber gloves. You've got 2 in here, size L, for £1.25. These weren't in the sale, but I always get some. And these are a blue colour, so I'll probably keep those ones in the bathroom. And then, oh, I forgot about that. This is a Rimmel London Lasting Matte Concealer. They've got branded makeup in Poundland, and it's always in these little packets, and they're hung on the long rails, so you have to really rummage through them to see what's what. But if you do, sometimes you might find something that's just right. They have a lot of nail polishes, a lot of different like eye makeups, but this one, I use a Rimmel concealer anyway, and the colour that I normally use is, I think it's beige. Oh yeah, it is beige. This one's true beige, and the one that I usually use, I think it's called soft beige, and then I think just regular beige. So I use regular beige if I've got like fake tan on, and just soft beige for my normal skin tone. So this colour I think would probably be better when I've got a little bit more colour. I'm looking rather pasty today, but I think that would be quite nice, especially when I've fake tan. It says full coverage soft matte concealer, and that was £2.50. I think this might be one of my favourite finds, and I think they had a butter dish that was similar to this. This is a little jug. It was £2 down to £1, and I just thought that was absolutely adorable. And I don't have a little jug like this for just like some milk. If you make some coffee and you want to have like a nice breakfast spread out on the table, or if you're just doing some cooking and you just want to decant, you know, like sometimes you just want a little bit of water in a container, rather than reaching for a mug, I'll now have this nice little glass jug to use for that. And I just think that is lovely. It's nice and strong too, you know, I feel like you could whack that in a dishwasher. Not that I have a dishwasher, but if I did, I'd probably be quite happy to throw that in there. Got another of these beach towels. I already have one of these, and these were down to £1.50, and they're brilliant. They're just nice and thin. They're not really a towel as such. I guess they're more like just to throw down, although you probably could dry yourself on this, but it's more just to throw down to sit on. So you can use it as a picnic blanket as well, or you could use it, you know, like throw it over a deck chair or a garden chair, use it almost as a shawl as well. You know, if you're outside in the summer, if you're going to like outdoor cinema or something, you could take it with you to sit on and also wrap it around yourself. And yeah, for £1.50, I think it's rather stylish, isn't it? This very simple stripe design. So yeah, I thought I'd get another one and have 2, as that was such a bargain. And then I got another little mat. This one was £1.40. It's just a tiny little bath rug, and it's pretty much just like toweling. Can you see? So almost like a towel, but then on the underside it feels like it's got a waterproof backing on it. So I thought this was quite nice for the ensuite, because it's so small and the ensuite's quite a tight little space. It'll just be perfect to pop just outside the shower. And I thought it'd be nice and absorbent too, because it is just like a nice thick toweling kind of fabric. And the last thing I've got to show you is this lamp. This was £2.50 down to £1.50, and it's just that kind of classic white plastic. You see these designs a lot, I think. Really handy for kids' bedrooms as a little night light. It just takes 3 AAA batteries, and they do give off quite a lot of light, because obviously the light comes out in all directions with these lamps. Sometimes with your touch lamps, the light just goes down, doesn't it, if it's got like a solid lampshade going around it. So yeah, this is quite a nice one just to like illuminate a space. Very lightweight, would be quite good to take camping with you as well, or you know, for outdoors you could use this as well and dot them around. I think when you have lots of the same thing, it can make like quite a dramatic effect, can't it? And I can imagine like in a garden space, or like, you know, in a big table setting, having these all the way down it, all matching, because they're just £1.50, could be really effective. So yeah, I thought that was brilliant. I've got 2 of those, and that is everything that I've got to show you from Poundland. So I hope you enjoyed this haul. If you did, do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, do make sure that you do, so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I've got a few more haul videos on the way for you actually. I have got a dumpster diving one coming for you very soon. I found some incredible bits and pieces that people have been throwing out, and I've also got a charity shop haul as well, where I found one of the most beautiful pieces of homeware, along with some thrifted fashion. So that's coming for you soon. So do stay tuned for those. Have a lovely rest of your day or evening, whatever time it is that you're watching this. Let me know in the comments which item was your favourite. And don't forget to check out Dialect. Have a little look at their fragrances if you fancy treating yourself or somebody that you love with the gift of fragrance for this Valentine's Day. My code is Mr. Carrington. Let me know how you get on, and if you bought them from the previous time I mentioned them, if you've got any recommendations, please let me know those in the comments as well. But yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye. And then it's got the little strap underneath, which is actually on Velcro, so you can just pop that over your tissue box and disguise it. Like I'm disguising the fact that I feel like I might need to do a little bird. I really shouldn't hide my face when I need to do that. I should just let it go and use my edit. Very lazy.